Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. This is CW. I'm back in the dungeon. Trying to get ahead of games because I've been running late lately, and I'm sorry about that. But you're going to have to spot it for me. As you know, Father's Day is coming up in June. Sometimes I like to drop hints. And I've said this a couple of times. One of my favorite writers is Gene Smith. He used to work for forget what U.S. News and World Report magazine back when they were news magazines without biasness. I think he is a graduate of the University of Wisconsin back in 61 or 59 or something like that. But he later turned out to be a great history writer. Um, I've spoke about this. This is absolutely my favorite book. I've replaced it twice. That's how good it is. And the name of it is Lee and Grant by Gene Smith. Now, if you're my children, you don't need to get this for me for Father's Day because obviously I have it. However, Gene Smith did write another one called Until the Last Trumpet Sounds about General Pershing. Just a thought. June's coming. Anyway, it's an excellent book. Lee and Grant by Gene Smith. It's um, it's what you call a comparison or a dual biography. It compares General Robert E. Lee to General Grant, and does a little bit of history, before and after the there's the Civil War participation of them both. Now, it's it's very clear, it's very precise. This is the first time I ever read it that I saw the way he used words like save, S-A-V-E, as a way of saying everything but that way. Save, S-A-V-E. The comparison of them both in the United States Military Academy alone is worth reading. It's very riveting. You don't put it down too much. I You find out stuff about you know how Grant wouldn't eat anything that walked on two legs, no chicken, nothing like that. He he had to work as a tanner, and he hated the smell of leather. Robert E. Lee, who may have been brought up in what we consider a life of privilege, basically was always over his head that he was always this close to being ruined because of his father. His family, his wife, was directly related to Mrs. George Washington, Martha Custis. So he always had that. He lived in Arlington. That's right, where the National Cemetery is in Washington and Virginia. That was his residence. At one time, it was seized because he failed to pay tax, naturally during the war. But it, some of the most endearing stuff in it is when General Grant is chasing Robert E. Lee through the wilderness of Virginia to the backwater, and the way that Gene Smith is able to capture this, how clearly you could almost see or hear Robert E. Lee pounding his fist at the end of the Appomattox courthouse episode. His writing is concise. It's entertaining. It's, like I said, I've worn the book out twice. It's something you should pick up. And of course, if you have a father that's coming up, I'm sure he'll like it. Um, he goes back into as I said, he also picks up after the war, how both of them try to find a place in society. We all know what happened to Grant. He went into politics, and by some court, he was kind of ruined by personality conflicts, people he had within his cabinet and friends, and how close that Robert E. Lee attempted also to become president, but not as much as you would think. He's very guarded about his name. He refused to take a position with an insurance company just because they wanted to use his name. But what he did do was take a position with a failing university in Virginia. Did such a job with it, it later became, instead of just Washington and University, it became Washington and Lee University. It's an excellent book. If you pick it up, you probably not put it down. It's very entertaining. Gene Smith, I don't know if it was his years as a writer for uh, news that we have to get it down quick because writing history should be entertaining and it seldom isn't. But that is not the case with this book. It's well written. It's balanced. It is just full of depth. You, you, I can't say enough about it. It's an excellent scholarly text. Like I said, get this for Dad, and he won't be disappointed. Let's see if I can get this focused. Yeah, my big nose. And once again, his other book that he wrote was Until the Last Trumpet Sounds. I think we messed that up a little bit, but we'll see. Well, that was it for today. I hope you enjoy that. I try to get, we do books from time to time. I'm CW. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to. I try to do just this and other little things. See you next time. Bye.